Good evening and many thanks for joining us. You're watching Qtv Nightly News, which is also on Q Radio 103.3 FM with me, Ansmane Sonyase. First, here are the main news headlines. President Barrow this evening joined workers at the Makati Square in Banjul to observe International Workers' Day. And the National Sports Council under the Ministry of Youth and Sports organized the 2026 International Workers' Day celebrations today at the Makati Square in Banjul. The Vice President of the Gambia, Mohamed B.S. Jallow, has launched the Food Safety and Quality Authority's 5-year strategic plan for 2026 to 2030. And as of May the 1st, 2026, China has officially eliminated tariffs on 100% of goods from 53 African countries with diplomatic ties, a move aimed at boosting trade and expanding market access. And in international news, Mali has held a state funeral for its defense minister, General Sadio Camara, who was killed in a major militant attack last weekend. Stay tuned as we bring more on these and other stories. And now here's the news in detail. President Barrow this evening joined workers at the Makati Square in Banjul to observe International Workers' Day. Speaking to QTV's Aliou Cisse, the president reaffirmed his government's commitment to welfare of workers and called for national unity in the interest of development and prosperity. Here is an excerpt.
Your Excellency, good to see you join workers to observe International Workers' Day. As the President of the Republic, what's your special message to civil servants and private sector workers in terms of better salaries, working conditions, and of course, job security?
Today is a very important day because it's Workers' Day. All the progress we are achieving in this country is because of the workers. So the workers are very, very important. They are the lifeline of the country. So it's very important, workers to come together, interact, and try to mingle and see how best we can go forward. But I think from 2017 to now, I think the workers, they have progressed a lot. In terms of remuneration, I think salaries we are increased by 100 and how many percent? 110%. Yes. And also allowances. Some we are paid $500 transport allowance. Now they are receiving 1,500, 2,500, even night allowance. Or like 650. Now night allowance is 1,500. So definitely within these years, they have progressed, definitely. And also we are building institutions. We are not building strong men, we want strong institutions. That's what we are doing. And in that, we have to collaborate, we have to together, we have to support the National Development Plan. The National Development Plan is the agenda of the government, is the agenda of the Gambia, definitely. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. President Barrow there speaking to our colleague Aliou Cisse this evening at the Makati Square. Now, the National Sports Council under the Ministry of Youth and Sports organized the 2026 International Workers' Day, May Day, also known as Labor Day celebrations under the theme Worker Solidarity and Strengthening Rights Against Economic Inequality. The event brought together workers and institutions to reflect on labor conditions and push for improved rights. Jilanja reports.
Representatives from at least 31 institutions marched from Arch 22 to Makati Square in Banjul, marking International Workers' Day with unity and purpose. Despite the lively atmosphere, serious issues affecting workers remain. As is the case in other parts of the world, many workers in the Gambia are facing financial pressures as wages fail to match the rising cost of living. For many families, income is no longer enough to cover basic needs such as food, transport, and housing. The matter that was raised 2 days ago by Omar Cisse, president of the recently launched Federation of Labor Unions of the Gambia, who highlighted what he described as a widening gap between income and basic needs. Employment conditions are also a concern. A large number of people work in the informal sector, where jobs are often unstable and lack basic protections such as contracts, insurance, and retirement benefits. This exposes workers to unfair treatment, including delayed payments and long working hours without proper compensation. Although labor laws exist to protect workers, enforcement remains a challenge. Many workers are either unaware of their rights or unable to seek justice when those rights are violated. Lamin Jawara, the chairman of the National Sports Council, said the event is a reminder that unity, teamwork and mutual support can strengthen workers' voices and promote fairness and justice. He also called on the government to institutionalize the May Day event so that all ministries can take part. Ibrahima Garbacham, the Secretary General of the Gambian National Trade Union Congress, urged workers to remain committed to establish labor standards. He also highlighted key challenges facing workers in the country.
The Gambia National Trade Union Congress is alive to the poor working conditions, exploitation of workers, unlawful and unfair termination, irregular employment contracts, unpaid claims as a result of public holidays, work, leave areas, overtime, industrial accidents, unreported cases to Injuries Commissioner of Compensation, redundancies without payment, unremitted social security contributions, etc.
Mr. Cham presented recommendations from the Congress to the Minister of Trade, who assured him of government's commitment to addressing them. Here is Bakari Y. Baji, Minister for Youth and Sports.
Mass participation in sports reinforces the very ideals captured in this year's theme. It promotes equality of opportunity where every participant, regardless of your background, has an equal opportunity to contribute and to succeed in life.
Modke Sise, the Minister of Trade, said that the government has strengthened labor laws and policies, including the National Employment Policy and Action Plan, the Labour Act 2023, and the Child Labour Policy to better protect workers' rights.
Employment increased significantly with over 163,000 additional Gambians engaged in the workforce since 2022. As reported by GBO's 2026 Labour Force survey just released, against a target of 150,000 set in the program. And that means we have achieved this target 1 year ahead of time.
As has become the annual tradition on Workers' Day, the event ended with various sporting activities. Reporting for QTV News, I am Julden Yai.
Now, away from the Workers' Day celebrations, the Vice President of the Gambia, His Excellency Mohamed Bias Jallow, has launched the Food Safety and Quality Authority's 5-year strategic plan for 2026 to 2030. The roadmap is designed to strengthen food safety systems, improve regulatory effectiveness, and safeguard public health. Usman Jata reports.
The Food Safety and Quality Authority was established with a clear mandate to protect public health and ensure that all food produced, processed, imported and consumed in the Gambia meets acceptable safety and quality standards. Government officials, partners and stakeholders launched the $188 million plan to strengthen institutions, modernize labs and drive digital transformation for global standards and market access. Momodu Ba is the Director General of FSQA.
We have an Act of 2011, then we started some regulations in 2020-21, and we had a policy in 2024, and we developed a strategy in 2025. So this is to sharpen our focus and to make sure that we are actually doing what the government has mandated us to do, and without any doubt.
The plan has 5 objectives, namely strengthening systems, improving food safety standards, ensuring financial sustainability, and enhancing risk assessment, inspection, surveillance, and enforcement. Dr. Amadou Sow, the FSQA's board chairman, reaffirmed the board's commitment to steering the authority towards effective implementation.
We will ensure that the authority remains focused on results, guided by transparency and responsive to national and international priorities.
The authority benefits from partnerships with international organizations such as the European Union, the Food and Agriculture Organization, and the Chinese government. The EU ambassador to the Gambia, Immaculada Roca I. Cortez, attended the launch.
The European Union is proud to support the Gambia in this journey. Our partnership in the area of food safety reflects a broader commitment to support substantial economic development, to support safe and competitive value chains, and to strengthen institutions that serves citizens and businesses alike.
Babakar Boy, the Minister of Public Service, highlighted the importance of the initiative in promoting a healthier nation.
Ensuring that the food consumed in our homes, schools, markets, and institutions is safe is not just a regulatory obligation, it is a moral imperative.
Vice President Mohamed Bias Jallow said the initiative aligns with the government's national development agenda and reinforces its commitment to food safety and public health.
The Food Safety and Quality Authority Strategic Plan is a product of rigorous analysis, broad stakeholder consultation, and a clear understanding of both national priorities and international obligations. It aligns with our National Development Plan, the Codex Alimentarius, the WTO Sanitary and Phytosanitary Agreement, and the African Union Food Safety Strategy 2022-2036.
Experts say that increasingly complex food systems driven by trade expansion, climate change pressures, and shifting consumption patterns require a more coordinated, robust, structured, and forward-looking response. Osman Jatta, QTV News.
And we still stay with our colleague Usman Jatta as he reports again that as of May the 1st, 2026, China has officially eliminated tariffs on 100% of goods from 53 African countries with diplomatic ties, a move aimed at boosting trade and expanding market access. The policy is expected to support key exports such as agricultural products, tea and other goods.
The Zero Tariff Initiative is intended to increase African exports, promote diversification beyond raw materials, and support industrialization across the continent. The policy will remain in effect until April 2028. Experts say it could help reduce Africa's long-standing reliance on exporting unprocessed commodities. Les Govanda, Deputy Chairperson of South Africa's National Council of Provinces, elaborates.
We want to thank the leadership of your country for having the foresight to bring about the zero tariffs. Because if you look at what is coming from the West, the high tariffs that are being imposed, that is causing trade relations to be strained. Now, when you have a country like China that says zero tariffs, that actually encourages trade between the various countries.
The announcement comes in the wake of 2026 being marked as the China-Africa Year of People-to-People Exchanges, an initiative agreed during the 2024 Beijing Summit of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, FOCAC. This year also marks the 70th anniversary of diplomatic relations between China and African countries, with early signs of impact of the zero-tariff policy already emerging. The first shipment under the new policy, 24 tons of South African apples, has already arrived in Shenzhen. Liu Shenkeng is the general manager of Xinjiang Kengxing Yip International Agent.
Since the policy took effect, South African apple tariffs have fallen from 10% to 0%. Each container saves roughly 20,000 yuan, adding up to about 10 million yuan a year. That's 1.46 million US dollars.
Bilateral trade between China and Africa reached 348.1 billion US dollars in 2025, marking a 17.7% year-on-year increase. That momentum has continued until 2026, with the trade in the first quarter rising by 23.7% compared to the same period last year. Shi Yangli, Section Chief at Xinjiang Bay Customs House, highlights the trend.
In the first quarter of this year, Shenzhen's trade with Africa hit 31.19 billion yuan, approximately 4.57 billion US dollars, up 47% year-on-year. In recent years, economic ties have grown stronger, with the two sides enjoying a highly complementary trade structure.
Authorities say efforts are also being made to streamline trade processes.
To facilitate smoother China-Africa trade, Tianjin Customs has introduced smart systems including tele-quarantine and electronic certification. Processing times have been reduced from several hours to under 10 minutes, improving efficiency for businesses.
Analysts say the zero tariff policy marks a significant step in deepening China-Africa economic ties, offering new opportunities for growth, value addition and expanded market access. Osman Jata, QTV News.
And a report there by Usman Jata will lead us to the commercial break, but when we return, we have more national and international news stories. We'll be right back.
Eight solar system of 6 kilowatts installed and commissioned in 6 days at Gibis Other Beach at K Point. Each villa gets over $500 worth of free solar electricity each day. Free solar AC day and night. Each villa has its own 15 kilowatts lithium battery and a hybrid inverter, which powers the AC, light, and TV at night. Come and visit the Duma Sansang Solar Center at Burfoot Gamtel Junction. See our most solar inverters, lithium batteries, and Longi Hymo solar panels. We only sell top quality solar systems, so we are able to give 2 to 5 year rating guarantee. We are the official Gambian country distributor for most energy. We really understand solar. 3-phase, single phase, big and small. We can supply and fit them all. Call or WhatsApp us on 233-3839.
I just hope Fimo am la len buga.
No, don't worry. You
I'm a sona.
Don't worry. So don't worry. Fimo J Balagi.
Looking for the best building materials in the market? J Balaji has it all. From tiles to Nexus premium waterproof and fire-resistant doors, everything you need is available under one roof. Strong quality, best prices, trusted service. Why go anywhere else? Mirror cabinets, premium marine plywood, home appliances, steel items. At J Balaji, we help you create spaces filled with comfort, beauty, and strength. JB iron rods, Wellcoat paints, Gambini paints, and Z paints. J Balaji, 18 years of experience in building material. Your one-stop solution for building excellence.
Welcome back. You're watching QTV News with me, Ansmana Sonyase. Now, the Cuban Medical Brigade in the Gambia on Friday marked 30 years of continuous cooperation dedicated to health and life, underscoring its significant contributions to the country's healthcare sector. The event coincided with the Workers' Day commemorations. More in this report with Pakaba Suso.
The journey started 30 years ago when the first batch of Cuban medical doctors were deployed in the Gambia. Since then, hundreds of Cuban health workers have served in the Gambia's health sector. This event captures these memories and journey through time, saving lives and positively impacting the Gambia's health sector. Furthermore, it represents the Cuban medical doctors' stand for the revolution and resistance as the country continues to battle the U.S. economic embargo, which started in 1962 under President Kennedy and which still restricts Cuba's participation in the international market, weakening its economy and infrastructure, resulting in electricity blackouts, shortages in fuel, food and medicine. According to an article in the Standard newspaper, Cuba's ambassador to the Gambia, Camelina Ramirez Rodriguez, confirmed that the U.S. has written to the Gambia and several other countries requesting them to stop their medical cooperation with Cuba, with the aim of further isolating and suffocating the Caribbean island nation. Highlighting the vital role Cuban medical doctors play in the Gambia's health sector, Dr. Mustafa Bitey, the Chief Medical Director at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, says the cooperation represents a sustained, cordial relationship.
So most of the specialists, like the only ENT doctor we have in the hospital is also from Cuba, the dermatologist from Cuba. So they are doing a lot of support, not only teaching people to become doctors, but they are also supporting the hospital so that we become doctors. And they are helping the patients in different areas, psychiatry, dermatology, everywhere they are helping. So we are really honored that they are here. And they are a very good team to have and to work with.
J. Modupe Grant is the president of the Gambia-Cuba Friendship Association.
Without the Cubans, the health sector is almost zero. They go to hard-to-reach areas. You go to Bansang now, they are there. You go to Basel, they are there. Irrespective of the weather, which maybe some of us Gambians will not do. And we will continue to be in solidarity with Cuba till death.
There are currently over 100 Cuban doctors in the Gambia, deployed to some of the major public health facilities across the country as surgeons, cardiologists, urologists, and other specialties. Cuban Dr. Ahmed Guterres is a general surgeon.
The relationship between Cuba and Gambia, now in this month we are going to have 30 years of this relationship with the Gambian and Cuban, because it's going to be our 30th anniversary of the Cuban Medical Brigade here in Gambia. So it means that this is not a very young relationship, it's an old one and very strong, because now we are going to have more commitment with the Gambian people and also with the government and between us.
The commemoration of 30 years sustained cooperation recognizes the enduring relationship and the critical role Cuban doctors continue to play in improving service delivery across the Gambia's health sector.
¡Viva Gambia! ¡Viva! ¡Patria muerte! ¡Venceremos!
Reporting for QTV News, Parker Basuso.
The Gambia Immigration Department has commenced a 3-day capacity building training for members of its female officers network, focusing on gender, human rights, trafficking in persons, smuggling of migrants, and referral mechanisms. More with Jacqueline Coley.
The training brings together female immigration officers from across the country, equipping them with the knowledge and skills needed to effectively respond to complex migration-related challenges while upholding human rights standards. Facilitated by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, in collaboration with the Office of United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, the National Agency Against Trafficking in Persons, and coordinated by the Promise Project, the initiative underscores a multi-agency approach to tackling trafficking and migrant smuggling in the Gambia. Here are Binta KG Barrow, Assistant Commissioner and member of the Gambia Women Immigration Network, and Abimbola Akinwumi, the project coordinator.
This training comes at a critical time when migration dynamics continue to evolve, presenting both opportunities and complex challenges. As frontline officers, your role is pivotal in ensuring that responses remain active, humane, and firmly grounded in respect for human rights.
These are important areas for female officers because they are among the first to engage with persons in vulnerable situations, including women, children, and others who may be at risk of exploitation, abuse, or harm. And this means also that the female officers themselves can also be at risk when they discharge these activities.
The training will strengthen the institutional capacity of the GID by enhancing participants' understanding of gender-sensitive approaches, human rights-based frameworks, and effective referral systems for victims of trafficking and vulnerable migrants. The Executive Director of NATIP, Aissatou Dabo, explains how training GID officials on these matters will ease her institution's workload.
Both NATIP and the MMU of GID have frontline officers, but most notably, I would at this point highlight that when we're able to control, address, and mitigate smuggling of migrants, the work for us that fight in anti-trafficking becomes easier. For the simple reason that even though these are two separate or different concepts, there is a meeting ground at some point. the more individuals that get smuggled, the more people get vulnerable to trafficking. That is the hard fact and the reality on the ground.
Hule Jalo Cham, the Deputy Director of the Gambia Immigration Department, says the initiative is part of broader efforts to promote professionalism and to ensure that immigration officers are better prepared to identify, protect, and support victims while also improving coordination among relevant stakeholders.
I wish to reaffirm the commitment of Gambia Immigration Department continuous capacity building, institutional strengthening, and effective coordination in migration management governance. These remain key pillars for achieving efficient, responsive, and sustainable outcomes in line with our national policies and GID strategic plan.
Participants are expected to gain practical insights into handling real-life cases as well as improve collaboration with national and international partners in addressing trafficking in persons and the smuggling of migrants. The GID Female Officers Network continues to play a key role in promoting gender inclusion within the institution, while contributing to national efforts to safeguard human dignity and strengthen migration governance. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jacqueline Collie.
Well, I'm afraid this is where we draw the curtains on this bulletin, but do join us tomorrow, same time, for more news. Until then, on behalf of the entire production team, thanks for watching. Have a good night.